Okay. I think we're well prepared. There's a signal, so there has to be someone here. People, or creatures? There was a light. Or was it just lightning, or something natural?
There was a directional light that lasted 4.4 seconds. A bright light. I would calculate that the chances of it not being artificial lie at 9.14%.
Pretty slim odds then. What do you mean by directional?
There was a precise vector, but it changed as it shone.
Could it be a reflection of the sun?
The amount of blue light is too high. The sun as a source can be ruled out.
So it's of a technical origin. Might have been Mark, or maybe he saw it too, which means he'd probably be on his way there right now. I suppose.
If he was ejected from the TAC-92, then he would probably be able to see the smoke and come here. However, if that is the case, he would now be dead at a possibility of 94.1%.
Where would I be without your optimism? So, you think I should stay here?
This place offers shelter, and you can gather resources from the wreckage. It is also the first place any rescue teams would check while searching for you. Leaving this place would be illogical.
But what is logical is that I would starve here and that I'd never find out what happened to Mark. Maybe he needs help, and without him I can't send out an emergency signal. I'd just be wasting my precious time.
As a weak biological life form, you will naturally lose energy and gradually be able to move shorter and shorter distances, which greatly lowers your chances at survival.
You're a real ray of sunshine, C.O.R.E.
Furthermore, the light signal might vanish and then you would no longer be able to make out its origin.
All the more reason not to stay here, C.O.R.E. Then I can only hope Mark is still alive and won't leave me hanging. I'd rather risk it and take my fate into my own hands.
Understandable, considering you are an organic life form. However, in the event of an accident, you would be entirely helpless.
You almost sound like Tony, that old worrywart.
Tony?
Anthony, my husband, Anthony Carter.
According to my database, you are unmarried.
Your database only knows about that Melissa Luna on the ID card.
Database update. Tessa Carter is married to Anthony Carter.
Yes, he also works for the Intergalactic Mining Corporation as a biochemist. I can see him right now, drinking hot chocolate together with our son, Finn. Just a few weeks' journey away from here. Please add to your database that Finn is 4 years old. Wait, 5? No, 4. Finn is 4 years old. Anyway, if I want to see them again, I have to survive.
Database updated.
Excellent. I have to take a break. I can't keep my eyes open. You keep watch while I sleep, and wake me if anything happens.
Confirmed.
You wanted to tell me something?
Yes, Mr. Bishop. He offered me a promotion.
Hey, that's amazing! Congratulations, you really deserve it.
Thank you, Tony.
You hesitate. Despite the improvement, you're worried you won't have any thrills in the new job, right?
I understand. You went through a lot after the accident.
Yes. I'm lucky to have survived that day.
You must have been very afraid, all alone, on a foreign planet.
Well, yes. But I also felt excited. Free. It was a strange mix of emotions and... Wait. What about Mark? Have you found him?
Yes, we found him. He is alive and well.
Oh, what luck. So, that night I dreamed about the day I was at the beach with Tony, where I told him about being promoted. I don't know what I meant by that.
Let's stick to what you experienced. Please continue telling me what you remember. What happened the following day, when you left?
Good morning, Tessa.
Good morning, C.O.R.E. How was the night?
No unusual incidents. My scanners detected that you had an uneasy sleep.
Slightly creepy, but correct. It's not great sleeping in a spacesuit. As if crashing wasn't bad enough for my poor bones. We should get going to find out more about the signal and the light. Then we'll see if there's a chance to escape. Or if I'll be turning into a fossil here.
Would you like me to read you some motivational quotes from my database? Even the longest journey begins.
For heaven's sake, don't. I've already got a headache. Maybe we can find something interesting out there. That makes me feel better.
This room's hull is intact and stable. No danger.
Okay. C.O.R.E., has the signal changed at all?
Negative. It is unchanged and still active at the same strength and same relative distance.
I can't see the light anymore. Oh well. Whatever it is, the signal might be useful. Maybe I can repurpose it. Can you fly ahead and scan the ground to tell me where I can walk?
Confirmed.
So far, so good.
You made it look quite easy.
Thanks. That wasn't my first climbing session. But as I thought, I won't be able to get back to the ship's wreckage.
It would be logical to not waste time and instead look ahead, as long as the signal is active.
Somehow I've got the feeling we're going to ask ourselves where ahead even is. I hope ahead doesn't mean through the undergrowth and straight into some animal's mouth.
My sensors would register any animal with Tessa-sized mouths.
How reassuring.
This is a dense network of individual plant fibers that extend underground for many kilometers. They are all part of the same species and leave no room for others. The signal is coming from this direction. The signal is coming from this direction.
Incredible how dirty, brackish, green, lentic, stinking water can give life to all sorts of creatures. But we humans are disgusted by it.
This disgust prevents you from drinking it and transporting all kinds of bacteria and parasites into your organism. Tessa.
Thanks for the reminder. These remind me more of corals than of plants. They're even moving slightly. But apart from that, they seem uninteresting.
Corals on Earth are more akin to animals than to plants.
Tony would have been delighted to try and find out what exactly these things are.
The signal is coming from this direction. The signal comes from this direction, but you will not be able to overcome the water. There's bound to be a way around it.
There's a swarm of insects here. They look like oversized mosquitoes, sucking on the plant and glowing. So they're the ones causing these strange lights in the swamp. Seems to be some form of bioluminescence.
These are the small life forms that I registered.
They're as big as rats.
The signal is coming from this direction. The signal is coming from this direction.
This just keeps getting better. Wouldn't it be nice if life was easy?
Intergalactic Mining Corporation. No progress without obstacles.
Yeah, I know the propaganda.
Do you know the slogan's origin?
I may have mild amnesia, C.O.R.E, but I know that I always deliberately disregarded that information.
The IMC's legendary founder, Walter Knight, derived his worldview and ethics from the video games he so thoroughly enjoyed playing. If there are no obstacles or problems in your way, then you're going in the wrong direction, is what he always said. You should be on the lookout for obstacles. Hence, no progress without obstacles.
I thought some overpriced advertising company had come up with that slogan. But it's even worse. He came up with it while wasting his time on video games. Well, I guess he wanted to appear more down-to-earth, our Mr. Knight. And that's how people actually see him. Because they bombarded us with the slogan in every commercial.
My market research data shows a correlation between the slogan's frequent repetition and the IMC's customer ratings.
How nice for the IMC. Okay, obstacles. So that means we should be heading towards those mountains over there. They count as an obstacle, right?
Correct. The signal is still about 4.1 kilometers away.
And how are we going to get down there?
Unfortunately, I have no data on how to overcome real-world obstacles. The signal is coming from this direction and is about 4.1 kilometers away. There is a 29-meter descent here with nowhere for us to climb down. The only way up appears to be this plant that has broken through the cliff over there.
Can you follow it?
The plants are too thick and their materials are too similar. My sensors cannot distinguish between the data.
A lake that this huge plant grew into. It almost extends right up to my cliff. Only about 20 or 30 meters deeper. A huge plant that broke through from above and grew into the lake.
There are insects sucking on it, glowing.
If it's growing upwards, it has to be somewhere on this plateau.
That is to be assumed. There are many here, but it is not clear which one it is.
I once spent a week on a planet with a similar view. Back then, I planned every expedition in a way that I could enjoy that view as much as possible. Now, I'd almost be happy to see the boring interior of a functioning spaceship instead. and without any surprises. But only almost. A huge crack in the rock wall. Looks like the plant broke through from above. If we find that rift, we might be able to climb down on the plant.
Or we find the plant itself.
The roots here have grown to become a net-like mesh. I can't tear it away. The plant is too sturdy. There must be an easier way. A net-like mesh made of roots. I once spent a week on a planet with a similar view. Back then, I planned now I'd The signal came from this direction. The source must be somewhere on the lower plane behind these mountains. I'm sure I've already been close to this ledge. It's part of this plateau I'm on after all. But even if I was right above it, it's still too much of a descent. I'd definitely reach the lake. The unscientific concept of a wishing well only works with something valuable, not trash and tools. I have to combine something before I can weld. I don't see why I should do that. A swarm of insects happily feasting on a plant. They look like blown-up
You won't reach these insects, Tessa. They don't respond to me. Maybe they see me as one of their own. As expected, I was unable to identify the plant with my sensors. If it's growing here, we have to find it some other way. The signal is coming from this direction.
A swarm of insects happily feasting on a plant. They look like blown-up A few of them got scared, but they just sat down again. I don't want to burn them, just rile them a bit. Let's see. The smell is making them uneasy, but they're not leaving. I'll be careful. Don't want to burn them. And who knows, they might be vengeful creatures. That was a bit much. They flew away. A swarm of insects happily feasting on a plant. They look...
You won't reach these insects, Tessa. They don't respond to me. Maybe they see me as one of their own.
Plant growing beyond the crater's edge. It's gonna be like a bridge soon, but it's too slippery to walk on even though it's got small indentations.
A visual analysis shows that your bridge comparison is mainly unjustified. I would register it thus: mossy, slippery, unclimbable, leafy plant. And likes it moist and shady. Fertilize once a month.
I can push them in a bit, but they're still wiggling. Right. Now they're pretty stable. A small crater filled with blue-tinged, slightly strange-looking water. Is there something glinting at the bottom of the crater?
Confirmed. There is an object consisting of various metals and salts in the middle of the crater that is shimmering blue.
Careful.
Do you think this is a good idea? Does taking this risk bring you closer to your goal?
Chill out, C.O.R.E. Unusual situations require unusual measures, and what I'm gonna find in this crater is going to be quite unusual.
According to my calculations, the outcome of climbing one of these plants is lethal in 9.4% of all cases. Statistics are no joke.
I hurled my butt through space inside of a hunk of metal with controlled ionic detonations. You really think I'm scared of a bit of free climbing? This plant is sturdy, and all that's beneath it is a puddle. And I have to climb it anyways to find a way out of this swamp, because otherwise we'd die. Sometimes you have to live dangerously, C.O.R.E. Or you might never live at all. Don't you have a curiosity algorithm? Or some humor routines? If we're really going to starve, dry up, or get eaten by aliens, I want to at least be able to laugh.
You want me to be funny?
Yes, exactly. Whoa. We'll practice. Okay then. Say something funny.
Calculating.
I'm waiting.
Joke confirmed. What did the sun say to the earth?
No, I don't want you to tell me a joke. Make fun of our situation. About the swamp, our location, about me, about yourself, anything. I mean, you can tell me about dangers if you want, but just do it more interestingly, more excitingly, maybe even sarcastically.
I understand. So, should you fall from the plant, please scream as loudly as possible so Mark Bennett can find us. Because I can't catch you or perform first aid.
Good attempt at sarcasm, Core. Could have been worse.
The crater is about 1.9 meters deep. The water inside is at a level of 1.4 meters. The blue color seems to come from a reaction with the meteorite's salty elements. The signal is coming from this direction.
A small crater filled with blue-tinged, slightly strange-looking water. I can see the shimmering blue lump at the bottom. That's no use. That could work, but it's too short. Core, couldn't you try?
I am a levitating, high-tech sphere, capable of solving the most complicated calculations in fractions of a second, and you want me to act like a common cargo robot?
You could have just said no.
Limbs are overrated.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, and I will have my vengeance? But apart from vengeance, this won't help me. I can't attach it to the pole. That might be useful. If I tied this to the hook, I could probably catch some huge fish. Let's see. All I have to do is not drop it. Got it. Pretty heavy, but there it is. This plant seems to be dead and dried up, even though there's water in this crater. Looks like all the other plants had the same fate. And there aren't any insects here either.
My sensors indicate that the roots of these plants have been damaged and the capillary vessels have been blocked by salt residue. The plant died of thirst.
I hope all the trouble I went through with the meteorite was worth it. A swarm of insects happily feasting on a plant. They look like blown-up mosquitoes, and
You won't reach these insects, Tessa. They don't respond to me. Maybe they see me as one of their own.
No, I can't get back up there to the wreck.
The signal is coming from this direction.
A swarm of insects happily... A few of them got scared, but they just sat down again. A large bubble that formed on the swamp water. A bit disgusting, really. Oh, so they didn't like the smoke either. Now they're over there, eating and glowing. A swarm of insects happily feasting on a... A few of them got scared, but they just sat down again. I'll be careful. Don't want to burn them. And who knows, they might be vengeful creatures. That was a bit much. They flew away. There was nothing special on this side of the swamp. It all looked the same. And the path seems to be just back here. But we also need some kind of reference point that we can follow. The signal will only take us to the edge.
This is a dense network of individual plant fibers that extend underground for many kilometers. They are all part of the same species and leave no room for others. The signal is coming from this direction.
A swarm of insects happily feasting on a... No, I can't get back up there to the wreck. These remind me more of corals than of plants. They're even moving slightly, but apart from that, they seem uninteresting.
Corals on Earth are more akin to animals than to plants.
Tony would have been delighted to try and find out what exactly these things are. Incredible how dirty, brackish, green, lentic, stinking water can give life to all sorts of creatures. But we humans are disgusted by it.
This disgust prevents you from drinking it and transporting all kinds of bacteria and parasites into your organism. Tessa.
Thanks for the reminder. An impressive flower. Long, strange fibers are hanging out of it. I'll cut them off as far up as possible, but I'll leave most of them. I'm sure the plant needs them to survive. Long, thin, slightly oily fibers. Wow, this plant is in bloom. Finally, a little bit of color on this hunk of rock. But the smell isn't exactly what I would call infatuating or appealing.
Neither would I. Then again, I have no smell receptors. In any case, this smell is not meant to attract us. We are strangers to this world.
Thanks for reminding me, C.O.R.E. I almost forgot. But from a scientific standpoint, I am interested why this one is in bloom while the others are not. Not that the answer would help me out.
The plant is in bloom and it's made these fibers soaked with an oily liquid. The signal is coming from this direction.
A swarm of insects happily
You won't reach these insects, Tessa. They don't respond to me. Maybe they see me as one of their own. You won't reach these insects, Tessa. They don't. You won't reach these insects. You won't reach these insects, Tessa.
How deep is the water core?
More than 1 meter here.
Whatever I throw in here, I won't be able to get it back. A few of them got scared, but... I'll be careful. Don't want to burn them. And who knows, they might be vengeful creatures. That was a bit much. They flew away. How deep is the water core?
More than 1 meter here.
Whatever I throw in here, I won't be able to get it back.
What are you trying to do?
Unpleasant, but unavoidable.
Physical exertion to relieve stress?
That should have been worth it. Take a look. Yes! The lake is turning blue. It looks like it's working. The mosquitoes turned blue for a second. But they flew away. They don't seem to like the plant's juice anymore after we tampered with it.
Humankind is famous for this behavior. A function ecosystem that humanity does not fully comprehend is altered and permanently damaged, all out of pure self-interest. All the indigenous fauna can do is flee.
If I can escape this planet by giving the indigenous fauna a bellyache, then I'll gladly be the poster child for my species' wrongdoings.
I have seen worse specimens of your species.
The meteorite is inside the lake, coloring the water blue. The insects that sucked on the plant also started glowing blue. Until they flew off in disgust, that is. I'd definitely reach the lake. The unscientific concept of a... I'd definitely reach the lake. The unscientific concept of a wishing well only works with something valuable, not trash and tools. I'd definitely reach the lake. The unscientific concept... I'm sure I've already been close to this ledge. It's part of this plaque, but even if I was right above it, a huge crack in the rock wall. Looks like the plant broke through from above. If we find that rift, we might be able to climb down on the plant.
Or we find the plant itself. The signal is coming from this direction and is about 4.1 kilometers away. There is a 29-meter descent here with nowhere for us to climb down. The only way up appears to be this plant that has broken through the cliff over there.
Can you follow the plant now that is soaking up the blue water?
Unfortunately not. I cannot detect the liquid with my sensors.
Then we have to find out some other way which of these are this plant's tendrils. The meteorite is inside the lake, coloring the water blue. The insects that sucked on the plant also started glowing blue. Until they flew off in disgust, that is. The water in this pond is very shallow and has a different color. It's red-brown instead of yellow-green. I can see something beneath it. Oh, and it reeks. Oh, that's a dead animal. Or, well, what remains of it. Looks like it's been dead for a few days. It's got feathers. Is that a
toucan.
What? No, that's impossible. It has to be some other animal that just looks very similar. I don't know how it died, but it lost a lot of blood afterwards, which then ran down into the water. Unlike the others, these insects are glowing red. If this plant was connected to the large one on the ledge, they'd be glowing blue.
Biological logic dictates that they would have flown away to find another source of sustenance.
You're right. Anyway, they might be able to show us the way.
Right now they seem to be enjoying their food in peace.
Yes! Oily fibers on a stick. The fibers are sticking to the end of the heavy lever around the hilt. Yes, that worked. Now all we need is a dark cave full of pressure plates that make arrows shoot out of the wall.
What a strange thing to wish for.
Yes, I can shoo them away with that. Next time, however, a little more purposefully. Okay, this time more deliberate. But in which direction?
The signal is coming from this direction.
There was nothing special on this side of the swamp. It all looked the same. And the path seems to be just back here. But we also need some They went blue for a second. Did you see that?
Affirmative.
Then that must mean that this is a limb of the plant that goes down the edge towards the bottom. Does that make sense?
Affirmative. Any other plant absorbing water that has been colored by this or any other meteorite should have withered by now.
Excellent. Let's follow it.
You won't reach these insects, Tessa. They don't respond to me. Maybe they see me as one of their own.
Here's the tear. That should be interesting.
You could just jump. There's a 91% chance of you slipping and falling anyway.
I'd rather be deceived by your statistic. down. Piece of cake. Now all we have to do is stick to the signal's direction. The torch is burned out anyway. I'll just get lost out here without a proper idea of where to go. I'll just get lost out here without a proper idea of where to go. I'll just get lost out here without a proper idea of where to go.
The signal is coming from this direction. The source is about 2.9 kilometers away and has not moved.
I'll just get lost out here without a proper idea. Okay, C.O.R.E, let's go. You can nap later. We can manage the rest, too. C.O.R.E, are you okay?
The signal's strength is decreasing rapidly. I will attempt to increase reception capacities to secure more precise coordinates.
It's decreasing? Then collect as much data as you can.
Completed.
Good. Then we should hurry. Okay, C.O.R.E, it's getting easier. How far are we? Unbelievable.
An outpost of the IMC. Number 1124.
Looks deserted. Is this where the signal came from?
It is highly likely that the signal was transmitted from here until it stopped abruptly a few minutes ago, probably from inside the facility.
That's... that's great.
My sensors indicate a high irony content in your words.
You're right. I mean, this is just all so strange.
Strange? Should you not be feeling relieved that we found this place?
I am, but we should be careful. We don't know what's waiting for us. Can you see a way inside?
There's a large gate there, Tessa.
Thanks for the subtle hint. I doubt there'll be a red carpet reception for me if I ring the doorbell, but it's worth a try. Lots of pieces of scrap that are caught up on each other, as if they were one solid piece. This pole is pretty beat up and loose. It's only hanging onto a single bolt that's sticking out. It's a bit looser than before, and the bolt is sticking out even further. It's a bit looser than before, and the bolt is sticking out even further.
This bolt's interior is made of hardened ceramic. Heat won't help you, Tessa. Outpost 1124 of the Intergalactic Mining Corporation. The station is made of various materials, for instance iron, steel, and titanium. I cannot detect any major life forms.
It's no use. I'll lean on it and hit it, but I assume it's too light.
The only thing I can do with this welder is weld pieces of metal together. The only thing I can do with this welder is weld pieces of metal together.
The bolt it's stuck on is rusted. I can't screw it out or scratch it off.
Lots of pieces of scrap that are caught up on each other, as if they were one solid piece. I don't know why I should do anything with this. I don't know why I should do anything with this. Maybe I can literally lever it out of the way? But not with this. It's not long enough to transfer the energy properly. No matter how hard I hit it, it just keeps hanging onto that bolt in the ground. No matter how hard I hit it, it just keeps hanging onto that bolt in the ground. No matter how hard I hit it, it just keeps hanging onto that bolt in the ground. That's just a construction to protect the station from erosion. No matter how hard I hit it, it just keeps hanging onto that bolt in the ground. It's stuck on, rusted through. It won't move an inch. Brute force it is, then.
You might still have needed that one.
I know.
It might have helped to break into an outpost.
Yeah, I get it. But now we've got this post here.
A post.
Yes, a post. Useful in many of life's sticky situations.
Searching database. No use case found, other than sticking it into the ground. as a post.
I've got the hands and I'm the one who has to improvise.
You are the person who lashes out with a hammer.
Just keep reading your database quietly.
I think not. One of us should watch where we are going.
Okay, I admit it. Your sense of direction is better than mine.
This used to be a baluster, but now it's just a metal cylinder.
I don't know why I should do anything with this.
Outpost 1120. I cannot detect it.
Now that's a big door.
You should knock. It looks like you're trying to knock. Would you like help?
Looks pretty overgrown and abandoned, but the station was still able to send a signal. Strange. Hello? No answer. But maybe it's for the best. After all, I don't know what might have answered. We can't open it. Climbing up won't work either, and if I fell and broke something, that would just complicate things. What does the way around this look like, C.O.R.E?
Good, but you would have to walk 1.9 kilometers to circumvent the plateau, maybe more.
And statistics don't lie, yeah. But I guess we'd have the same problem there too. It's a no-win situation. You scanned the station, but maybe you could scan the surroundings too? Maybe we can find some more clues.
The floor covering is made from the same material as the rest of the station. It seems to have a hole in it here. Perhaps it was originally inside a rock that is no longer where it used to be. There might be a way inside below these materials. My sensors indicate your heart rate is elevated at 121 BPM. I recommend a thorough medical checkup.
No, I'm just excited.
Why?
It's our job to explore foreign planets, foreign worlds, alien conscience. We throw ourselves into the unknown. It's the life I always dreamed of.
Maybe you should focus on survival for now and go inside.
You may be hard to excite, but you do make for a good voice of reason.
I could fly in and take a look around.
I thought of that, but no. I don't want to risk you getting in danger. If I lose you, I'll have an even bigger problem than if we just turned around and stayed together.
Understood. That was my assessment, too. I cannot, however, judge whether your decision was made out of empathy or pragmatism, but I will gladly stay safe.
We have to get to the station and use it to call for help. With this brand new, ultra-modern, recently serviced transmission tower and its dust-free and flashing satellite dishes. It's not unusual for nature to reclaim abandoned buildings. The plants have grown right into these rooms. If there was someone living here, they'd have taken care of them. Unless that person had more important things to deal with. There's always something better to do. That's just a construction to protect the station from erosion. This gate won't open. The crack is just too small. This gate won't open. The crack is...
The only thing I can do with this welder is weld pieces of metal.